Oh, excuse me. Hey, everybody. Welcome to. Now we're on Sunday night. Let me get rid of that. Okay. And go back to comments. I saw at least Cindy was here. Yay. So I know, Sundays are usually not my night. But we got to have some extra time to get this album done. So let me know. I see a couple pairs of eyeballs, and I'm assuming that you can hear me, that all the sound is fine. So I'm just going to jump into it because, hey, Peggy, awesome. Because, yeah, like I said, Sunday's not my normal night. And by the way, hey, Rose, awesome. I've been in my pajamas all day. So it's Sunday. That's like my favorite thing to do, stay in my pajamas. But sweet. Awesome. Thanks, Rose. So yeah, let's just get down to it because this is part 2 of Keeping Traditions mini album. All right. And I'm just going to do a quick like flip through to see what I got done. Hey, Lisa. Because Thursday, after Thursday, I had to finish a couple things. Yeah, Rose, I'm with you. Like, I got to go to work, but all right. So, again, we are using photo album, keeping traditions, scrapbooking workshop kit, the two-tone card packet. I've got all the supplies in the description. Flip flaps, ribbon, embellishments. So where I left off Thursday. So I'm just going to flip through. Remember, I sorted all these page protectors just to see, put them in the order that I wanted them in. Yeah, Peggy, Sunday's good for pajama day. Yeah, especially as it gets colder. Like, there's no need to go outside anyway, right? Craft room is nice and toasty, and especially when I have these lights on all day in here. I've still got one of those torch lights, like I forget what, but it's like a floor lamp with a halogen light. Oh my god, those things get hot. Anyway, so I had some of these were smaller pieces of the whiteboard that came in the scrapbooking kit and the two-tone pack. So I covered them same way I did the bigger ones, just like I do when I'm making covers. So I wrapped it and then, add this layer. So we have all these nice edges. Punch the holes with my crocodile. So these were the original, the whiteboards that I cut first. Another one, real red. This old olive was the chipboard that came in the packaging for these plastic page protectors. So covered that just the same. And I already flipped. I made a little video on my blog post to flip through this, but it was terrible quality. Like, I did it right on my phone, but I guess uploading that tiny video to Facebook or to my blog, like, it just didn't like it. But anyway, Secret C, more protectors, pool party, last one. So that's where I left off. Today I want to make some full-size pocket pages, add some of the flip flaps. So I've got two full packs of the flip flaps, 3x4s and 4x6s. And I'm going to put those throughout in, different ways. Then I want to make some gusseted pockets for the inside, front, and back covers. And we'll see how much time we have left after that. So let me put that to the side. So let's look real quick at the two-tone cardstock that I have left to work with. So remember, I had I had the multi-pack, right? The Keeping Traditions two-tone pack that had, a bunch of colors and like 2 of each and then some white. And then some also came in the scrapbooking workshop kit. So I sorted them all out. After all the things I did Thursday, I have 2 pieces of white, which they call this willow white, and it's a smidge thicker than the two-tone. So 2 pieces of white, looks like 1 piece of real red, Secret C, 2 of those, okay, 1 of old olive, 2 of pool party, and 1 of cherry cobbler. So I'm going to say right now, I'm going to grab Pool Party and Secret C for our pocket, our full-size pocket pages, just to keep things even. And I'm hoping to use all that paper up, but we'll see. Okay, so this album, 6x8, the actual protectors are a little bit longer and wider, than 6x8. But my pocket pages, I want to be 6 inches wide by 8 inches tall. So, and there'll be a little bit shorter than the rest of what's in the album, but I want different heights of all the pages anyway. So, anywho, let's cut this at 6 inches. Oh wait, no, at 8 inches. I don't want to lie. 8 inches, because we're gonna fold this in half at 6. Geez, I almost wrecked that. All right, so this is how our pocket page is going to go. We're going to keep it open up top. So, cut at 8 inches. All right. Now, all these cutoffs I've been saving in a pile because they're going to come in handy for later. All right, now I want to, as I found out Thursday, if I gently score these, let's get rid of this because I don't need that. I should not have as much cracking. Now I like the dark side to be out, so we're gonna score this at 6, and I like to use the thicker end. So gently, gently, and we're gonna do both of these at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but you know what I mean. All right. Now I want to cut these. So while I do want this to be a full-size pocket page, I want the front flap to be down. So I want to cut about 2 inches off of this. I think 2 inches, that's maybe a little bit much. Let's go 1.5 inches. And I did write notes, so now I'm having to update them. So I want this side to be the one that we glue it together, and I'll punch the holes in it so it can put in the album. So I want to cut this way. So I want to open this up, turn it, and I want to cut 1.5 inches down to this score line. So you can either flip this over and bring it in at 1.5 this way. I would rather have the bulk of my paper over here. So 8 minus 1.5. Let's scoot this edge, this left edge, over to 6.5. And I'm just going to cut until I get down to close to that 6-inch line, which is hard to see, hard to do with a guillotine cutter, but I'll do the rest with my scissors. But I got it mostly there. All right, and then same thing with this one. I want to cut off this part. So I'm putting it in at 6.5. And that'll be good enough. I've got a rotary cutter from Creative Memories, and that actually has a guide that I can get all the way down there. All right, so all I'm going to do, snip this right up to that score line, and then cut this off. All right, so I want my page, because I want to see that backside of the two-tone, and I want to make it easier to tuck things in and out. So, all right, that's good. I need to trim a smidge off of here. Now this piece, I don't want to throw this away. Hey, Anna, if I were to glue this straight down this side and straight down this side, that's fine. That would make like a flatter pocket, but I want this bottom edge really to be like have a gusset. Although, what does that matter if I'm going to glue this side? Because I intended to use this, just fold it in half and make a gusset down here. I'm going to do it with this one anyway. See how it goes. All right. So this is 1.5. That's really too long or too wide. Let's trim this down to 1 inch. And then we'll score it at 1/2 inch. Hey, Gloria. Oh, where'd my scoring thing go? Oh, I put it right back in the thing. All right, I'm scoring this at 1/2 inch, and this is going to be on the inside. We're not really going to see it, so it doesn't matter which side you score it on, like the dark side or the light side. So let's fold this, burnish, and I am going to angle it in. So the folded end is at the bottom now. So fold that in half and just angle this in a little bit. And we'll see how this works. All right, so here's our pocket page. And I realize seeing this secret C on here is a little bit tricky. So what I want to do is glue this hinge really down to the bottom of my page or of my pocket. And I'm just putting that, right at the bottom. And of course it was hanging off a little. Oh, come on. Like I got it on a little bit wonky. All right, that's good. So we've got our hinge there. And now what I need to do is add glue to this. And since I'm going to glue this flat, just add glue down the side. And flip this over, catching that gusset, that hinge. Now I can see my fold didn't come exactly to this edge, but that doesn't really matter. All right, this is nice and straight. This looks a little rough. All right, but I'm happy with that. So we can still, I think adding the hinge down here, the gusset, makes it a little bit roomier. And I think it's fine that I glued this down flat. Ideally, I would want a hinge over here too. But this is going to do. All right, so that page, and then we're going to do the same thing with this one. Ooh, nice. So this one, I got that cut right up there. I only missed it by like 1/16th, if that. All right, trim. Nice. I do like seeing that lighter shade. Now this, I'm just trimming a little bit that was hanging over after I folded it. Yeah, I do like this. Okay. So same thing, I'll cut this one down to 1 inch. And then score it at 1/2 inch. Half an inch. I really like these colors. Like, I'm usually not a fan of blue, but I am liking having it in this kit. Like, it all seems to go nicely. All right, so we'll do the same thing. I'm gonna open this up and I want to put this hinge, the scored side, down at the bottom. Okay. All right. And get all that glue. And then we'll do more glue. And then down here. Okay. Nice. That flips over right in place nicely. Now, if you wanted to have your pocket like on the back side, you would have just cut the opposite. But I like to have them just like on the front in this case. Okay, now I do want to add, I haven't really cut into the designer paper. Hey, Carol. I haven't really cut into the designer paper yet because I'm really saving that until I have to. Well, now I'm at the point where I have to for at least this one. So we had a couple of pieces that are one-sided. So we have two of this, which it looks like cloud cover or gray. I don't know. Two of that, and then two with this Secret Sea border on it. And I want to actually use this to layer onto here. And actually, I'll do the same thing with this one, even though it's not pool party, but that's fine. So what I want to start with is cutting these edges off. And I want to cut them so I can use them later if I want to. I may not. We'll see. But I want the option because I just want the printed stuff out of the middle. And I could get in there with my other cutter and just cut this square out, but it's just as easy just to come over here and chop this off. So these look like they're about 1/2 inch strips. So just eyeball it. That eyeball was a little bit off. All right, that's smidge. So I should have about 11 by 11. Close enough. All right, so now I've got this piece to work with. And let me do the same thing with this. This time I'm trying to get, I kind of want to cut right at this line. I do like this pattern because it seems like this could be something that you could journal. You could use these dotted lines just to journal. Oh, wow. I cut that right at the, I guess you can't see that, but those dots are like right there. I might as well just cut them off. Like I got a sliver of the dots. That's funny. So much for trying to keep that there. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now, also recall there's no stamping with this album because I am using just the scrapbooking kit and the two-tone. So once we cut this, if you wanted to stamp something, do it before we mount it here, right? I'm not, so I'm just gonna cut it and go. So this, I want to cut this designer paper, knowing full well that I'm going to be punching the holes over here. So it may cut into it, doesn't matter. So this is 6 by 6.5. So I want to cut this piece 5 3/4. And actually I want to cut this because it's going to bother me. So see how we have these blank lines? Well, actually, I'm not going to worry about it. 5 3/4 by, what did we say? 6.5. So this will be 6 1/4. All right, let me jot this down. Designer paper, 5 3/4 wide by 6 1/4 tall. Okay. And then the other one should be just the same. So we'll do 5 3/4 by 6 1/4. That just seems like weird. Okay, that's the right size. I like it. All right. So nice big pieces that we can use later. But see how all this like lined business, that can perfect for journaling. All right, let's put these scraps with these pieces at the bottom of the pile. And let's glue these on. Now notice that I have switched back to my my art glitter glue. Man, this is hard on my eyeballs against this black background with the secret C. But so Thursday, when I was doing all the cover wrapping and I was using the white chipboard that came from the back of the paper packs and the scrapbooking kit, I was using my Tombow glue, and that takes, it's stickier, it takes a while to dry. But I felt that was a better choice for that job. But now I can be back to my favorite. Ooh, I like this. Definitely. I can use this whole page to write things. And of course you can just stick pictures on this too and have tuck spots and all that. All right, now I need my pencil. So same thing. I'm gonna take up this template. This page is a template. So see how this is gonna be, it's gonna be scooched in a little bit and it's not as tall. That's fine. I want the different sizes throughout the book. So let's hold this up and I'm just eyeballing it, but you could measure if you want. I'm just looking at like what's hanging over on this side and this side. Is it kind of close? Yeah. All right, and then let's get in here with the pencil and not move it, Tony. Nice. And then same thing here. And this glue should be dry by now, so it's not going to be a big deal when I punch through it. All right, is that straight? Yeah. So I have enjoyed these scrapbooking workshop kits, even just using them, you know, as to make the pages like they were intended for. But I'm really having fun, like more fun, doing alternate projects like this. Okay, so my We Are Memory Keepers punch 1/4 inch. This is what I was using on Thursday. So I just have to punch it once, scooch it over, and then it gets like, I want to punch it one more time, like in the middle, to get rid of those little nibs. They're like hanging chads. All right, and then we'll do this. The thing with this hole punch is it goes like, it doesn't go down in here, which is fine, because it's punching it from the bottom up. Because I was looking at the other day, I'm like, how do I clean this out? And I don't, because it's popping it all up anyway. Just makes me wonder, like, why is it so thick down here? What's going on in there that I can't see? All right, and then one in the middle, tiny little bit. All right. Nice. One more. Okay. I like it. So let's figure out where I want to put these in the book. So I kind of like to space out colors. So I know I've got that Secret C, this page in the back. So I feel like I'm going to put this Secret C pocket page closer to the front. And actually, let's do this. I kind of like them evenly spaced. So I have 2 pocket pages. And let's see. Put them here and here. That seems weird. Oh, wait. 1, here. Okay. So we'll go pool party here. It's another reason why I love these ring bound albums, because you can, change the order around. Oh, I love it. Okay. So just to let you see how this album is filling up some, I like it. But we still have about 1.5 inches room. All right. So those are our full-size pockets. Now, I'm probably going to get to the part where I add like the tags and the like inserts. Probably going to do that in the third part, but we'll see how it goes tonight. All right, so we've got that. Next, I want to add so flip flaps. So like I said, I got both packs. Hey Lisa, is it thick so you can rest it on the desk table to give it much? Oh, this thing. Oh, I wonder if that is. I don't think so, because you need to grab it under here, and like look how the handle gets in the way. There's just got to be some kind of mechanism in here that it needs to have that space. I'm not sure. I mean, and you can see, maybe you can't, but I like how it switches, but it just seems odd, like an odd design, but it does work. That would be a good, that is a good question now. Because like the crocodile too, or the big bite that I have, that sits on the table. But no. All right, so flip flaps, 4x6 and 3x4. So hopefully I'm going to use all of these. So there's 12 in each, and they go. So let's just pull out. Let's start with the big ones. So the 4x6s. So there's 6 that have the top mount, right? And it's adhesive. The adhesive side gets flipped back, and that's how we stick it in, the album, however you want to use it. So 4 top mount and 4 side mount. So the top mounts I wanted to use as like page flips. So let's go right over here, because I know I wanted to do this one. So I'm going to add the flip flaps before I add any designer paper, because that's also going to cover up the plastic, this edge. So yeah, fold that over, and it folds right to the line. I don't know if it's like, if it's got a pre-score or, nope, it doesn't look like it. I don't know how it's designed that it's folding so nice, but it is. So just fold it over. You can give it a little burnish if you want. We're going to want to burnish it again when we stick it in here. All right. So I want this edge to the edge of my album. And actually, I need to turn this towards me. And I'm just, ooh, this is really sticky. I'm just eyeballing to get it in the center. Now, you could obviously make your own flip flaps, your own tip ins or flips, whatever you want to call them, with cardstock. But I want the flip flaps because we're going to use them in a different way also. All right, now burnish this, and you can see that glue. Hopefully you can see that those glue dots are getting smashed down in there. So see now this, you can see the adhesive line. So that's why I want to put this in and then add whatever designer paper I decide on to cover that up. So these are perfect. So remember these photo placemats or photo mats, placeholders really, 4x6 photo. So my intention is to just put 4x6 pictures in these flaps without trimming them down at all. So that'll be 2 pictures on there. I love it. Yes, you can make shakers with these page envelopes. They're thicker than Any plastic that I've used, as far as like plastic sheeting, like the window sheets, um, it's more bendable too. So yeah, I think you can definitely use these as shakers. All right, so I want one there. How many do I have on the side? I should have 6, right? 1, 2, 3. Yep. And I generally like to put these, I know I want to put one on this same, on the Secret C. I like these to hang on the outer side so that they open this way nicely. I don't like to put it on this side near the hinge because that's not going to flip up nice anyway. So when you have a picture in here, you try to open it, these are going to get in the way. So, oh, yeah, we can do some on the top as well, top and bottom. But I definitely want one here. You know what? Maybe I'll do this one on this side. Yeah, I'll do that. Because I did want to add some top and bottom. This is going to hold so many pictures. Like, I'm really going to have to sort through my pictures, holiday stuff, to see which year I have a lot of pictures. Or it's going to have to just be an album with multi-years. Like, 3 years worth of Christmas. All right, so I've got that in there. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Now for these, so I've got 2 left. Oh, nice. All right. Can I put them here? Yep. So that's how I'm going to do it. We're going to do a top and bottom flap on both sides. So this is like the very middle of the album. All right, so fold, burnish. And I'm not worried about putting magnets in. Usually I would put magnets to hold these flaps in place, but I'm not going to worry about it for this. I am going to worry about getting it even. And I'm just going to eyeball and ooh, really sticky. All right, these ones, I'm going to go at the very edge of my old olive layer. So you know how like I wrapped the front side of this, and then this piece was just the cover, like the layer to cover up all those edges. Ooh, I like that. So I've got it right before the hole punch. So just keep that in mind. All right, and then I gotta flip this upside down just so I can see what I'm doing. Now these are gonna overlap a tiny bit, and that's fine. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, I love it. So let's peel this. So just think, for each one of these flip flaps, you can have 2 full 4x6 pictures, or you can have, like some designer paper. All right, I'm trying to get this situated. There we go. Nailed it. But already, if we have, I know this is a lot of flipping and turning around. If we have 2 pictures in each of that, that's 4 pictures. And then I could have 2 more here. So that's 6 pictures just on this one side of this page. Nice. All right, so we're going to turn this and then use our last 2 for the same thing. Yeah, I think some people, when they look at this style of album and with the page protectors, how we call them, like pocket pages, they think, oh, I'll just put the pocket protectors, like these pages in there and be done with it. And you can do that. That's fine. You could have got like 2 or 3 packs of that and done that, like in the what was this style of using all these cards and things that I can't remember? Not Memories and More. Well, that's what Stampin' Up called them, but what were the original ones? Project Life. Yeah. So you could have an album full of just these plastic page protectors, but I like adding like these kind of pages, even cardstock pages you could add. All right, I'm just gonna stick my head in here, see how close I am. Oh, I flipped it over the wrong way. That's okay. Good thing it flips. Oh, all right. And then we'll put this one on. Geez, these are sticky. I mean, that's good, but when you're trying to be careful. Okay, I've got that like right at the, oopsie. Ugh, that didn't land where I wanted it to. So I'm gently pulling this up, trying not to rip the paper. You know how you do when you stick something down, you don't want it to. Jeez. Crisis averted. All right, better. I feel like a little bit crooked, but it's fine. All right, flip again. So, nice. Oh yeah, that's really crooked. This top one is, and that's, I did burnish it down. I'm not gonna mess with that right now. All right, so now I wanna add the 3x4s. Or no, wait, I'm still stuck on these, the 4x6s. Ugh. All right, so the side pieces, so let's fold those down. So what you can do is add them. So this is a 4, like a quad. This one has 2 3x4s and a 4x6. So we can stick these on top of these. And again, I like to stick it on this side, not this side, because I just don't want it to open like that. So I'm going to peel this. If it's going to let me peel it. And then I'm just going to overlap. I'm going to put this right at the edge. Turn it this way. And these really are like the same size. There we go. And they're clear. So if I don't get it exactly perfect, it's fine. All right, so let's put one of these photo things in here. Of course, I stuck it. There we go. So you would have your picture here. Then you could have 2 more here. And you would put them in on this side right here. So all you'll see is this picture. And then you open it up. Bing, bing. More pictures. And oh, nice. So same thing. Let's do one up top here. And actually, I might save 2 of these. Okay. And now I'm going to stick this at the very edge over here. Actually, you know what? I do want to trim this. So when I just put that last one down, it wanted to hang over a smidge. So I'm just cutting like that much off. I don't know if you can see that, but like, whoop, that much off. Because it's going to hang over here a tiny little bit. And I don't want it to interfere with getting my picture. Oh, and it's on the other side, so it doesn't even matter. Ugh. All right, so edge to edge, corner, corner. There we go. And burnish. All right, so that'll open like that. And let's see, can we put another one there? So that's going to overlap a tiny little bit. So I don't necessarily want to do that. And I said I wanted to save 2 of these, right? Let me put those away. All right, let's go. You know how I like my albums to be kind of even. So I'll go whatever is in front of this or behind this blue one. Yeah, this page. So in this case, I'm going to put it on this side. Now I realize, this being a work in progress, it's hard to envision what this is going to look like in the end. I think it's all going to come together in our next session when we get to like adding the designer paper layers. We'll see more, more of the patterns. All right, this is hard for me to see. I will tell you that, even in real life, like the clear on clear. But I like this idea. So we have extra picture. Nice. All right, and then which one did I do? This one in front of the pocket page. All right, so let's do it down here. Although the other one was on the bottom too, right? Yeah, let's do this one up top. Just to be evenly spaced. Okay. Turning this and and this is the one where I might need to trim this, miter this corner a little bit. Just because this page right here is top loading and this is like right in here. And this edge is going to, the sticky part was crossing it a little bit. So let's just want to make that easier. All right, so corner. You guys, I have not had a chance at all this weekend to watch any of my Christmas movies. So hopefully tonight I will. Actually, so after I finish this, I'm going to work on my week 9 of my 12 weeks Christmas cards. I can't believe we've only got 4 weeks left of that. But I can watch one of my episodes of Mistletoe Murders while I'm doing that. I love this. So this will be 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh wait, 2, 4, 6. I love it, love it, love it. All right, now for the 3x4s. So starting on these little pages. All right, let me put these other 2 flip flaps back so I don't lose them. I'm really happy about using most of those. All right, so 3x4, same deal. We get 3 that are top, or half that are top loading, half that are side loading. So the top loading ones, I want to make a series of waterfalls on here. All right, so just like we can make a waterfall with cardstock, like we can use these flip flaps. So let me just see how many I can get. I may only want to use 3 because I have 6 of this size. Yeah, let's do that. And then I can evenly space them. Okay, so I want to start with the bottom one, just because then I can add the top one and then flip it up and then eyeball to get the center one. And, you know, you could measure it if you really want to, but I'm not going to. All right. And I want this to land just a smidge above the bottom of the page. Okay. And where'd my thing go? Nice, 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 nice. And then we'll do this one on the top. And same thing, I want it to be just a smidge down from the top of the page. And I'm using the sides to make sure I'm lined up. All right. I love it. Now doing the waterfall like this, I'm not going to be able to put pictures on the actual page itself, this chipboard, because this is going to be like right smack in the middle, right? But you could put something at the bottom down here. But I still like the fact that we can get, you know, 6 more pictures in here. And we may want to doll these up with some of the designer papers, but for right now, I'm just getting these, making the waterfall itself. All right. Oh, I flipped that over the wrong way. Jeez. So you gotta flip it so the adhesive is on this side. That will stick. All right. So eyeballing. So I want it to be about there. And this time I'm just going strictly with the sides to line up. And if that ended up being a little bit crooked, then so be it. But I love it. We're adding so many more bits. And let me just put this in here so we see. 3 by 4. Now, I know I said last time I'm not a fan of white pages, but I kind of had to make these white because of all the paper that I had left. But I'm going to get over it. Love it. So yeah, you could have something here. And of course, we can add a little something here because we do have decorative like strips, you know, even like this kind of thing. I could put that in there just to cover up that strip. But we're going to get to that later. I love it. All right. I want to do another one on the other white page that I had. So I'm going to do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3. So that'll use up all of those, and that is perfectly fine. Yeah, if I have to guess, I'm going to say there's going to be room for maybe 50 pictures. I don't even know. All right, let's get all that schmutz off of there. And I want it just a smidge from the bottom. It is going to weigh a ton, Rose. You're right. When I get all those pictures. And that's another thing. So like, even though, you know, there was about that much room left from the top, you're right. When we add pictures, that makes it grow. Yeah, I think I might have to look for pictures like from when we were growing up, because that's when there was a lot of pictures at the holidays. Now, I take a picture of the tree. I'm lucky if I get a picture of us. When we had cats, like I would get a picture of the cat. All right. Okay. And this one, I just want to eyeball. All right, so I want this like here. Okay. Nice, 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 nice. All right, I need a drink of water. All right, now we've got the top loading 3x4s. So I want to do similar, stick these on top of some of the page protectors so that we can get extras in here. All right, and so these are all top loading. I might do, because they're going to hang over a touch. Now these can be side loading too, you know, like whichever way you turn them. All right, so that can go there. Actually, let's flip through, because we can also add these just in the middle, like even though this is a 4x6. Ooh, funny. I'm like, we could double up on that, but no, I don't want to do that. I could do these at the bottom. Okay. Let me see. Laying these next to each other. That is a little close. I don't want to do that. I love this. All right, you know what? I may put these. Because they're a smidge bigger than the actual, like, the pre-cut ones, like, so this 3x4. They're just both a smidge bigger. I may put these. Oh, I got it. I'm going to put one here, so that'll flip up, and then I'll put one down here that will flip down. Because we can put it right over. This will be a 4x6 up here. And let me turn this around. It can be like a little peekaboo thing. Just want to line that up. It might help if I took these out of the protector, like out of the album. All right, and then one more down here. And yikes, I want to get to these gusseted pockets. All right, so I might just put this one on and then move on, because I really don't want to keep you here much longer than an hour. Because I know you guys have stuff to do too. And you get the idea that I'm just adding the flip flaps so that there's more space for pictures. Let's put this right up here so we can see. Nice. All right, and then this. So yeah, let's move on. Yeah, geez. You know what? I'm going to count tonight, like how many photos I think it's going to hold. And that is getting a little bit tall. Nice. Okay, so I want gusseted pockets on the inside, front and back covers, right? So that we can add, you know, like inserts, little photo mats, photo booklets. Yep, yeah, Gail will be on an hour, so I definitely can't, I gotta get, can't be on 2 hours. That's crazy. Okay, so a gusseted pocket down here. And I want to do them the same size. And so that is going to be, I want it to be 6¼ across, because I don't want to go over onto this linen part just because I don't feel like it. But that's where I'm going to have ribbon tied around anyway. So yeah, about 6¼ and I wanted it to be 3 inches tall. Yes. So I need 2 pieces that are 3½, because we're going to have gussets on 3 sides. So I need 2 pieces that are 3½ by 7¼ So what I want to do first is grab all the scraps that I have cut from the two-tone. And there's like good sized chunks here. So I always want to cut from what I have, scrap wise first. So 3½ by 7¼ These don't look long enough. This looks long enough. Well, that's 12 for sure. All right, so that's in the running. Oh, those are the pieces I just cut. Ugh. All right, these are all too skinny. I know for sure. Too skinny, too skinny. This one might work. Okay. So 5. All right, so I've got Secret Sea and Cherry Cobbler and Pool Party. Now, since Cherry Cobbler is the first color I see, like, from my big page here, I may want a blue. So let's see. And I've got, you know what? Let's put Cherry Cobbler on the back. Let's use these. Cherry Cobbler on the back, Secret Sea on the front. Okay, let's get that out of the way. So we'll cut these at, like I said, 3½ by 7¼ 7¼ 3½. And then again, these go back into the scrap pile. 7¼ 3½. And while I'm, wait, that doesn't look right. 7¼ Okay. While I'm cutting, so I want to layer. I want to do like designer series paper layers on this. So let's do, actually, let me go back to those scraps that I cut for this. So I want these to be 2¾ by 6. Let me see how wide that is. That is not 6. And that is one-sided. All right, well, this one I could cut 6 by, so this will be 2¾ by 6. 2¾ by 6. So I'll do this. That's going to be on the front one. And I am going to have to cut into one of my big pieces, or let's see. What die cuts do we have, like for that back pocket? I can use, these are the stickers. And remember, we're going to get to using these, all these numbers. We're going to put those in next time. Ooh, I can use that. Yeah. All right. Or this one. I might want those poinsettias for something else. Let's use this. All right, so they can be different. I don't want to cut into this just yet, though. Ugh. So that's why I'm like trying to use other things. All right, so that's that. And now let's score. So we're going to score on 3 sides at ½ an inch. So that'll give us our gussets on the 3 sides. And again, I do want this on the dark side. So ½ inch, turn it to the right, ½ inch. Turn it to the right, ½ inch. And then same thing with this one, with the Secret Sea. Which side is darker? think this side. It's hard to see. Okay. All right. Now, when I make these gusset pockets, I've started, I want to have like a little pull tab in the middle, and you can just cut a circle out of here, out of the center. But I've been wanting to, I like using the envelope punch board. So what we do is, this was 7 1/4, right? So 7 1/4 is halfway, is 3 1/2, and then an eighth. Let me just double check. Oh, my nail file. 7.25 divided by 2, 3 5/8. Yep. So if we put the left side of this over to 3 5/8, that should be the very center. Yep. 3 and yeah. All right. So I'm going to do that on both sides. So 3 5/8. Punch. Now with this piece, I want to do the same thing. Cut it right in half. Now, if you want to measure, you could just take this, fold it in half, pinch it, all right? And then eyeball this pinch mark with the center of this, all right? I've done that before, and I'm just not that great at it. But this is 6 inches, so I'm just going to put it right at 3 and punch it. All right, you just want to be halfway. I saw somewhere someone has, and it looks like it's just a little punch. That's all it makes, is this style punch. But it's not part of the punch board. And I forget where I saw that. All right, so let's miter these corners. Miter these corners. And then we'll fold everything. And I will try to be gentle. Gentle. Yeah, when Sue made her cards Friday night and she didn't get any cracking, I'm like, it had to be that A, I didn't score enough, and B, maybe I was a little too rough with it. I don't know. But she does like to use this two-tone cardstock to make cards, and I just generally don't. But she always has good success with it. All right, so this one's going on the back. This one's going on the inside front cover. Actually, this will be good timing. All right, let's burnish that. And if I can, I like to attach this part first, just because if I glued this down and then I went to glue this down and it was wonky, I would rather, deal with it before I glue all this down. All right, get this glue booger off. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be able to watch one of my mistletoe murder series. I'm liking that. I don't know if anybody else has caught those. It's Friday night on Hallmark. And I don't know, they do them in 1 hour episodes. So it's like 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and then 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, or 7 and 8, whatever it is. I'm never home. I just have to record it. But I don't know why they do them in 1 hour episodes when I go back and watch it off the DVR. It like rolls, once the first one's done, it rolls right into the next one. Just like it's a 2 hour episode anyway. All right, let's get this on. Okay. Oh yeah, I like that. Love, 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 love that. All right. And then this one, I wanted to add. Let's put this right at the bottom. And then I can just wrap it around a little bit. And I saved this because you never know. Now this, I'm going to put glue just on the bottom. And then let's do the very edges so that this can be a tuck, you know, we can tuck something down on there. All right, let's do that. And it's not right at the bottom. And we'll just fold this over. Nice. All right, let me just hold this down a minute. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. And then I'll do that. Okay, let's bring our book back. Let's put this one in first. Let me move my calculator. Oh. And yeah, after I'll take again some pictures from tonight. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect, perfect. I'll take some pictures again tonight for my blog post for what we did tonight. But I feel like you don't really get a sense. And I am covering up the Stampin' Up! Like it's my book. I'm just trying to get it centered. But yeah, this is all going to come together when we finish it. And then let's talk about that. So Thursday is Thanksgiving. And while I would love to hang out with you guys on Thanksgiving, oh, so Anna, the paper, is that the paper punch you're talking about? So Paper Studio has one. Is that what you mean? Because I like that. I feel like mine's getting a little bit hairy and I may need to eventually get a new one because I just like that. But yeah, Thursday, I mean, we're having a small crowd here on Thanksgiving, but still, I know everybody else has bigger, you know, family things, friends things, whatever. And I feel like we all got stuff otherwise to do, not. I'm probably going to be doing, you know, cleaning, doing my dishes, and then I'll be exhausted. So I'm not going to be on Thursday. So I have to figure out, it'll probably be next Saturday. Not next Saturday, this coming Saturday, where I can finish this, because there's no way I could get on Wednesday night too. I still gotta like get all my hours in at work, get stuff done. B, we're gonna be cleaning, cooking, you know, we like to get as much done ahead of time food-wise as we can, which I'm sure everybody does. So Thursday's out, Wednesday's out. Friday, Sue comes on. I will be home, but I will be Black Friday cropping with Diane and Jamie. So Saturday, it's probably going to be Saturday, and I'll just have to play it by ear, whether I can come in the afternoon or if it'll be evening. I really don't know. Because actually, now that I'm thinking of it, I've got to bake cookies at some point because I got invited to a brunch on Sunday. Cookie exchange / brunch. All right. So let me put this in here. So probably going to be Saturday. Let's just say it. But here's our progress. So I love it. Rose is right. This thing is getting heavier and heavier. Love it. Yeah, Gloria, I think Paper Studio is the brand from Hobby Lobby, isn't it? Because I remember seeing that. But I'll have to check. It may have been one of the designers for Country Craft Creations that I saw has it. So I'll have to look. But hopefully Anna will have an answer. Oh, she doesn't remember where she got it from. She's had it for a little bit. Okay. But here, let's just to show you. So we can have, this is a full pocket since we made it with the gussets. Love that. all these. I really like the waterfall. Yep, so do that. We've got our extra flap, more extra flaps, flip in, tip in, whatever you want to call it. More extra, our pocket. So one of the things, so what we're doing next week, obviously, I'm going to do the front cover. And actually, I'll just keep flipping. I'm going to do the front cover. I'm going to cut all the paper for like anything I'm layering and for like the inserts, you know, like the 3x4 inserts, between scraps from the two-tone and the designer paper. I'm going to have something in every envelope here, because other than these 4x6s, because this I'm just planning on putting just photos, like a direct photo in there. But so I'll cut all the designer paper, be able to like slide everything in for you. We're going to be able to make some tags and photo booklets so that we have something to put in these pockets and our front and back pockets. So, you know, like I said, tags, photo booklets, something that we can pull out of there. Little tuck spots, because there's all these bits that we can use from the ephemera. So all these things, these little tags, these little flowers, handles, like all those things can be added so that we can tuck something in. And that's what I like for like these big pages too. Nice. Have a little tuck spot here so you could just have something. Love it. Extra. Nice. I like the little ones. And then our back. And I'll probably like have something here, like some word. Because in the stickers, we've got all these extra, like all these little word things. Making magic, trim the tree, home for the best time of the year. So, you know what? Let's just put something right there. Let's do that. And then, oh wait, you know what? I wanted that to be a tuck spot. Well, this will be the tuck spot. And then let's have a joy right down there. So we'll go through and I'll pay attention more when I do that. Because this, see, we can still have a little something tucked in there, right? So that will happen Saturday. So we should be wrapping it up. And that'll give me a week to like really, at this point, I can cut all the other layers and everything ahead of time. So, yeah, that's that for part 2. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Yeah, Lisa, it is going to be a fat album once it's filled up. Like Rose said, it's going to weigh a ton. It's already like pretty sturdy. I love it. Plus, you know, using the chipboard and the whiteboard pieces that were from the paper packs, that makes sturdy base pages, but it does add to the weight for sure. But we're not going to fat shame this album. We're going to get as many pictures in here as we can. Okay, so yeah, everybody, Gail's on in another 45 minutes. Yeah, stretch pants on Thanksgiving. Exactly. We're having turkey and ham. Even though there's only 4 of us, we got like a 15-pound turkey and I think you got an 8-pound ham. Like, it's too much, but we like the leftovers. All right. Thanks, you guys, for hanging out. I hope you're happy with the album so far. I love all the places that we're having for pictures. I love it. Okay. Thanks again. Good night, you guys. Bye.